It is such a wonderful moment, and I'm delighted to share with you my insight and my innovation about the challenges in the energy sector. My name is Kasiri Henry, and I've been into this sector close to 20 years, seeing from those old times of umeme, of UEB, Uganda, which people ended up defining as Uganda Enzikiza Board. Those days we had a problem of load shedding. I've been there and I know what it takes. So today I'm delighted to tell you that having gone through all that with me, God has helped me develop a solution that will help Ugandans survive. I want to dub this discussion that the challenges of Uganda, the environmental degradation we're having in the country, is simply because of the electricity tariff. The price of electricity to the user is so high that it has made people to learn to find means of ignoring electricity. The high tariff in the country has so much degraded the forests. Even those small forests we used to know in the countries are no longer surviving. But let me tell you how possible this can be solved. First of all, the tariff, the price of electricity you see being charged to the people is determined by the government, but it is determined by the government depending on about 4 factors. Number 1 is generation, that is at the dam. Number 2, the transmission. Number 3, the distribution. And number 4, the administration. So when you add up the 4, they give you the price of how much you have to pay. Some people may think that there are many sectors that was subdivided into the sector. No, dividing them does not add up to anything or does not reduce anything. If you remove any of the 4, you either don't have electricity, but you cannot remove any of them. Even if you keep them in one house, it cannot. But still, I want to tell you of the good news, or even the bad news according to you. The tariff you are seeing in the country is relatively fair. I can still say on camera here that nothing more can be done on the tariff, because if we remove the cost of transmission, you will not receive the power. If we cannot pay for the generation, we cannot have the power. If we don't distribute it to your house, you cannot have the power. So we have to service this cost to see that you have the power. But still, that is a problem, because people are still saying it is high. Why did I say it is the sole reason as to why there has been environmental degradation? When somebody sees electricity is high, they switch to using alternatives. The alternatives we have include, number 1, the greatest substitute people have chosen is charcoal. Number 2, we have LPG, gas. Number 3, we have firewood. But all this does not add up. At the moment, we have developed some other technologies of briquettes and so like that. But all these solutions does not involve masses. Now, what we are going to do is to find a way of scientifically bringing this price. So what I did as an innovator, I borrowed a leaf from the telecom sector. When you look at the telecom sector, they started by charging us about 500 shillings per minute. They went down to 400 something. They went down to 360. They went up to down 3 shillings per second. That means 1 minute of telecom goes for about 180. That still seemed very low. And people, the uptake of airtime was still low. What they decided, they innovated a technology of bundling. Bundling, there is a Uganda word we call omulengo. They created clusters, they created omulengo. And then they started selling to individuals in bulk. And then we call that process, we call it in Uganda, okurejesa, more or less like a promotion. So they went ahead and created what we call voice bundles, data bundles. So I borrowed a leaf from this sector and developed a solution that is able to bundle power the same way. So let me briefly tell you the benefits of bundling. The benefits of bundling will help us somehow induce you to use electricity. But before I go to that, I want to tell you the experience when Yaka came to town. When Yaka came to town, I call it prepaid. When prepaid came, it taught people how much power they used to consume in a family. And those days when they used to have bills after and the end of the month, they could spend, I can't say recklessly, they could spend power the way they want it. So that they could have the security lights, they could have their TV, and some people could cook using electricity. Those days when a bill came to your house, it was war, it was struggle. But then Yaka came in, we welcomed it, it was a great experience. But when people began to know how much they have bought and how they spent it, they learned a certain thing, how to save power. That means they had to be conscious of the gadgets they were going to use. They had to be conscious of what remains on. I saw it with my eye, and you can share with me that experience, that from that time, the city had almost become dark because people can no longer wake up. I left my meter on 50 kilowatt hour. Now it is at 40 kilowatt hour. It means that security light is the highest consumer. No more should you use that light. It means the demand for electricity, the usage of electricity dropped down. We can still say we are using so much megawatts, but it is not possible because we are just increasing the population, the users are increasing, but the quality of the customers has dropped. I've been sharing with my friends, and they told me in their homes, if they try to use anything as the way they want, averagely, they spend about 50,000. So, what is the deal in power bundling? This is a deal. You can see a unit is going for 180 shillings of airtime, and now you give somebody 1,000 shillings and it gives you 40 minutes. If I can borrow from that experience, I know. 40 minutes. That means they are not calculating in minutes, they are calculating in bundles. So this is a message I'm sending out to the sector, the regulators of electricity. I want to give you this experience. Now, a home, averagely in my home, I cook using electricity. I can say maybe I'm lucky, but I'm not lucky. I'm a researcher. I want to know how much I can use to cook. So, for example, you are going to use about 10 kilowatt hour in a day. And say, for example, a kilowatt hour is at 900 shillings. So it means a day I'm going to spend 9,000 lighting my TV, lighting my security lights, and cooking. So if I'm going to spend 9,000 a day, by 30, I'll be spending 270,000. That is a wealthy Ugandan. No person averagely can use that per month. They're already complaining at 50,000. So what is the benefit in bundling? When we bundle power, say for example, I'm going to tell you, an average person can use charcoal of 3,000 a day. So if that person gives me that 3,000 and I give them a bundle of electricity, say for example, 15 kilowatt hour. 15 kilowatt hour at 3,000. But you must use that power in only one day. If you don't use that power today, tomorrow you will not find it. That is the beauty in the innovation we have done. So what we want is to get the money people used to spend on charcoal and spend it on electricity. By so doing, we are saving the environment. But that is not the deal. The deal is you are saving on the same amount of money. You are able to light your TV, you are able to increase your security light, and you are able to be okay with the fixed cost per month. Now, let me talk about the benefit of bundling power to the government. The government can now expect 50,000 averagely from an average home. 50,000, that is to light a TV, to light the security light, and to light a house, watch the radio, charge the phone. Now, if you used my bundling technique, my bundling innovation, you are going to use one, you are going to spend, we have already put an example of 90,000 a month. 90,000 a month means you are going to earn 90,000 from a house, from a meter, where you used to earn 50,000. I'm already doubling the income of the government. So we are getting more income in selling more. So if you sell less at a higher price, you get complaint and you get less money. So if you sell in bundle, in rafts, in clusters, you sell more, because a dam of 600 megawatts produces the same 600 megawatts even if no person is connected. So the uptake of power brings the benefits to the government, hence the life improvement the people of Uganda. I want to end here to tell you the greatest benefits. This is an innovation by a Ugandan on camera. We want this project to roll out in Uganda. We want Uganda to benefit first. Like you hear Microsoft, like you hear mobile money. Mobile money started somewhere. This is starting in Uganda. It is already tested by the sector players, and it is going to start from here and fly to the rest of Africa. And then Ugandan will be the source of the Nile, is now the source of effective power usage at a great benefit. I want to end here by saying, by giving you this trivia. How green is solar? I can bet here hydroelectricity is greener than any solution, because I know of Ugandans that have cut forests to get money to buy solar system. I've said it that 15 years, 20 years, I'm in solar. I'm a solar seller. But I can bet here hydroelectricity is greener than solar. Thank you for paying attention to my speech.